morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Beth Jones.
And I'm Peter Dubois. First tonight, an Old Town woman charged in connection with the death of her 3-year-old daughter entered a guilty plea in court today.
According to the Penobscot County District Attorney, Hillary Goding's daughter passed away after being exposed to fentanyl. On Thursday, Goding pleaded guilty to manslaughter and violating conditions of release for speaking to a witness after she was incarcerated. Defense attorney Jeff Silverstein says as a result of her guilty plea, the state agreed to dismiss the murder charge against her.
She knew what she is responsible for having done, and she was willing to accept responsibility on a manslaughter basis.
Sentencing is expected to take place in the coming weeks.
The prosecution and defense gave final arguments today in the trial of Zachary Borg. Matthew Duranczyk has details.
Closing statements for the Zachary Borg case were held at Penobscot Judicial Center Friday morning. Borg faces charges for furnishing drugs to a minor, endangering the welfare of a child, and domestic violence reckless conduct with a dangerous weapon. The defense argued Borg did not furnish drugs to his 11-month-old infant who suffered an overdose.
Inviting an adult inside one's home to use drugs is not giving, dispensing, or transferring drugs to a child. Consuming drugs by inhaling them off a coffee table is not giving, dispensing, or transferring drugs to a child.
However, Assistant District Attorney Chelsea Linz argued that all charges against the defendant should be upheld.
Even if you accept the defense's proposition that we just have no way of knowing where or when in this house Isabella ingested fentanyl, does that really negate these charges? Or is that the case here, Your Honor? Is that this whole case?
After presenting evidence and cross-examinations of witnesses, Judge William Henderson says he needs more time to make a decision.
I need to solidify in my own mind the definition of those words in a criminal context before I can actually decide the case.
Linz says although she's disappointed there was no decision, she understands the implications in a case like this.
This really is kind of a novel trial with novel issues, and the reason for that is we really do not have the laws that we need to be able to protect kids when it comes to fentanyl exposure. Our laws just have not kept up with the fentanyl crisis at all, and this is the prime example of that.
And while no decision was made today, the court is set to reconvene in 10 days where a verdict will likely occur. Reporting from Bangor, Matthew Duranczyk, ABC7 and Fox 22.
In other news tonight, an elderly man is dead following a fatal fire in West Gardner. According to the Maine Department of Public Safety, the West Gardner Fire Department responded to a fire at 810 Lewiston Road at approximately 11:41 a.m. Firefighters discovered a deceased man while extinguishing the fire. Maine Public Safety says the deceased is believed to be 83-year-old Sherwood Keene, who was renting the property. His remains have been transported to the office of the chief medical examiner in Augusta. The state fire marshal's office is investigating. The cause of the fire has not yet been determined.
Crews from Newburgh and surrounding towns responded to a fire that destroyed a home this afternoon. Fire Chief Brent Summers says the house at 1083 North Road was fully engulfed in flames when they arrived on scene.
It was a defensive fight only. We took it from the outside, went from the front, from the two sides. Basically a surround and drown.
The cause of that fire is still under investigation. The chief says they stayed on scene for a couple of hours to put out the hotspots.
Well, the family of Graham Locker has increased the reward for information leading to his safe return. Locker went missing on June 6th when he fled the grounds of Dorothea Dick Psychiatric Center in Bangor. According to his mother, Tammy Locker Scully, the reward has been increased from $500 to $2,500 thanks to money pledged through GoFundMe. Scully says Locker is diagnosed as autistic and schizophrenic and is afraid of people. Although he's been missing since June, Graham's mother believes there's a strong chance he could still be alive.
We are optimistic that Graham has survived because he's very concerned about his well-being. He doesn't abuse substances, he cares about what he eats, he exercises.
Well, along with upping the reward, Locker's family is asking hunters and outdoor enthusiasts to also be on the lookout.
We're making a special appeal to hunters and guides. It's getting colder, hunting season's about to start. That gives us a whole group of people whose eyes haven't been on this before now. We hope that one of them may see him.
The family will be at the Bangor Public Library on Friday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. to hand out flyers and provide details about the reward. For more information, visit the Facebook page Missing Graham Locker.
Senator King, meanwhile, is applauding the passage of a bill that, among other things, will provide an additional $1 billion for the Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program, otherwise known as LIHEAP. King called the bill a bipartisan effort, saying it passed in the Senate by a vote of 72 to 25. Of the $1 billion going to LIHEAP, millions will go to Maine to help the thousands of families across the state who rely on the program. H.R. 6833 funds the federal government through December 16th. In addition to the LIHEAP funding, it also includes $12 billion in critical emergency and for Ukraine and billions in disaster aid to states that need help to recover from floods, wildfires, and other disasters. There's also funding to reimburse veterans traveling to access mental health services and ensure our service members continue to get paid. Senator King said this funding will save and improve countless lives. The package is expected to receive final approval by the House of Representatives sometime this week.
One person was taken to the hospital after a two-car collision at the intersection of Audlin Road and I-395 in Bangor. A witness tells us they saw one of the drivers was going straight through a green light at the intersection, while another driver was turning onto Audlin Road at the same time. Bangor Fire Lieutenant Ben Morey says his team was called when they received reports about an injury.
We got called after the fact. Originally came in as nobody was hurt, and then someone complained of being hurt, so they sent the fire department.
Well, the intersection has since been cleared, and the Bangor Police Department is investigating the incident.
First responders in Somerset County were treated to a free lunch this afternoon. The Haidt family of dealerships and Skowhegan Savings Bank teamed up to host the 4th annual First Responder Barbecue with smoked pork, wings, corn muffins, and ice cream. It's the first time they've been able to hold the event in person and on-site in 2 years due to COVID. Skowhegan Police Chief David Bucknam said the event is a great opportunity to get together with first responders across the region. He said they usually see each other in emergency situations, but rarely get the chance to get together over a meal. Sam Haidt of the Haidt family of dealerships started the event back in 2019. He said he wanted to make sure the first responders in the community knew how much they're appreciated day in and day out. And I think a home-cooked meal is always a great way to show your appreciation for someone.
Yeah.
That sounded like a really delicious one.
I was going to say, it sounded pretty darn tasty and well-deserved, of course, on the part of our first responders. Mm-hmm. It was a nice day to do it as well, which is always kind of the icing on the cake, so to speak.
Absolutely. Beautiful day to get outside, get together, and just enjoy the fresh air.
Indeed. And with a little bit more on the conditions we can expect moving forward, let's take a first look at our forecast.
All right, thank you very much. Your first weather is brought to you by Saliba's Rug Cleaners, Maine's largest for over 70 years. And all right, so the clouds we had earlier have now left us. We have that radiational cooling out there tonight. That means some cool temperatures for us this evening, as these winds out there will die down this evening, and that's going to give us some temperatures in the 30s. And here comes a frost advisory again for parts of the area, with low temperatures hanging out in the 30s tonight. So if you have plants that you still love, bring them in this evening. They're not going to like the temperatures out there tonight. After we did this today, 63 here in Bangor, 60 Millinocket. We'll do it again tomorrow with high temperatures near 60. Our forecast then tonight, though, is mostly clear skies and a bit cool with low temperatures down in the 30s. Your full forecast is coming up.
Wow.
Alrighty.
Is that the first time we've had low temperatures in the 30s overnight this year?
If it's not the very first,
season?
it's like one of the first one or two, because we've certainly, we've been seeing 50s for sure, and maybe an inkling of 40s here and there. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the 30s definitely starting to jump out at you.
Yeah, we're starting to creep down there.
Alrighty.
Well, still to come on Fox 22 News at 10, a historic bridge along Maine's coast is being replaced.
And a piece of history in Blue Hill is now up for sale. We'll hear from the current owners. Those stories and more local news when we come right back.
Interest rates are on the rise and making waves in the real estate market. Buying or selling? You need a navigator. I'm Holly Taylor. Come to the one who gets it done. HollyTaylor.Realtor.
Find out where that road leads. Take on any challenge. When you have the #1 brand in dependability, you stop thinking about what you can't do and start doing what you never thought possible. Get 3.49% APR for up to 48 months on the purchase of a new 2023 Forte.
You can always tell where Bruce Poliquin's been. Hanging around Washington politicians and the special interests that fund their campaigns, like big oil and drug and insurance companies. Poliquin leaves a bit of Washington everywhere because he's covered in it, supporting special tax breaks for big corporations and more government spending. No matter where you see Bruce Poliquin, you know he's always heading back to the swamp. House Majority PAC is responsible for the content of this ad.
Say goodbye to lag times and death spirals with our crazy fast fiber internet. At GoNet Speed, we've dropped our prices on fiber. That means hello to fast fiber internet starting at just $49.95 per month. Or go up to 1 gig, that's 1,000 megabits per second, for only $69.95 a month. The lowest prices we've ever offered. No contract, no hidden fees, no joke. Visit GoNetSpeed.com to check availability in your area.
Bloodline's newest edition, Solo Sikoa and Sami Zayn fight to defend the family honor against Ricochet and Madcap Moss. An all-new edition of Friday Night SmackDown, live at 8 Eastern, 7 Central on Fox.
Homes are selling in a single day. The real work happens well before. I'm Holly Taylor, and I have the expertise to guide you through your home improvements. Come to the one who gets it done. HollyTaylor.Realtor.
Coming up on Good Morning Maine, Joe Cortez and myself will have details about the upcoming fundraising event for the Belfast Skate Park, and we'll hear ideas being thrown around down east about how to replace the Deer Isle Causeway that is in sore need of modernization. All of this alongside weather radar updates when you see us next.
Future generations will be able to hear directly from veterans, Maine veterans specifically, and better understand the realities of war thanks to the Veterans History Project at the Library of Congress. Over the last year, Senator Angus King conducted interviews with 9 veterans from Maine. Today, he formally delivered those interviews to the Librarian of Congress.
Out of over 114,000 individual stories in the Veterans History Project, we have some work to do in the state of Maine. Currently, there are 300 stories from the state of Maine. So there's more to do to make sure that those voices are represented and expand our national understanding of our collective history.
Well, King said it's important to make sure the sacrifice of Maine veterans is never forgotten. He said by listening to their stories, we can also find ways to make their lives and the lives of future servicemen and women better.
Meanwhile, a historic bridge is being replaced along the coast. Built in 1926, the Blue Hills Falls Bridge has been deteriorating over the years. The Department of Transportation has now begun work to replace it. The Chonbro Corporation is carrying out the work. It has begun erecting a temporary bridge that will be used once the old structure is demolished. Boaters are being asked to stay away from the area while the work is being carried out. The demolition will be carried out this fall. The new bridge is expected to be open to traffic in the summer of 2024.
Well, there is now a chance to own a piece of Blue Hill history, which is up for sale, as it turns out. The Barncastle Hotel and Pub was built in 1884 and has become a popular place for visitors. Isaac and Lorelei Robbins have been running the business for 16 years. They've made numerous improvements and expanded the offerings, but they say it's now time to try some new challenges and let someone else take the reins.
This feels like a good time for someone else to bring some fresh energy to the place, and we're excited to find the right people who can do something great and keep giving back to the Blue Hill community. Because
The beautiful building has its own pub, restaurant, and a newly refurbished carriage house that can be used for special events. There's also a kitchen that has been used to serve up delicious wood-fired pizzas. The hotel is listed with the Swan Real Estate Company. It can all be yours for $1.6 million. Split it with you.
Yeah, right. I wish.
That place looks great. Yeah.
Super inviting, homey. It just looks like picturesque in there.
Lots of character, some real charm to it.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah, well, hoping that the new owners keep that going.
Yeah, already. I want one of those wood-fired pizzas.
Yeah, that sounds delicious right about now.
Well, coming up on the 10 p.m. news on Fox 22, President Biden approved a major disaster declaration for Florida, paving the way for federal aid.
And Vladimir Putin is expected to announce the annexing of occupied territory in Ukraine. We'll have those stories and more as the 10 p.m. news on Fox 22 continues.
Janet Mills's education department was teaching kindergartners radical transgender policies. Now it's pushing a curriculum telling students they're racist if they use certain terms. All lives matter, mass incarceration, calling the police on black people, all racist. Janet Mills closed our schools and our kids fell behind. And now she's pushing her radical education agenda. No more politics in schools, no more Janet Mills. The top funder of the Maine Republican Party is the Republican Governors Association.
Sometimes big truck accidents can result in big case settlements. These are just some of the big case results I fought to get my clients. If you've been hurt by a big truck, call the twos. We win for you.
If you're looking to buy or sell a home, chances are you have a lot of questions. Norm Prouty has answers. Learn some tips and tricks and explore some beautiful new homes on the market. The Norm Prouty and Donnell Baker Real Estate Show, Sunday mornings at 8:30 on Fox 22.
I've been having foot pain for at least 10 years. The first day I put the key boot on, I could tell the difference. My pain level has been so much better. I was amazed. The key boots made it possible for me to actually walk without pain. I can go shopping, walking around the store without wanting to cry. I mean, I feel like dancing sometimes. The key boots made all the difference. Very happy with it. Comfort shoes, it's just changed my life.
Hi, I'm Nick, and I'm one of the heat pump consultants at Dave's World. We are Maine's leader in heat pump installations because we have an awesome team that is dedicated to an awesome experience, and we are backed by Mitsubishi products. It's easy to promise awesome, but it is another thing to deliver on awesome. There are so many solutions for every home. The goal is to solve problems and find what's right for the customer. You have heating and cooling problems, we will solve them from start to finish. Dave's World, awesome.
Start Saturday strong with America's #1 game, Big Noon Saturday on Fox. Wow! It all starts at 10 Eastern with Big Noon kickoff live from Iowa City. Touchdown, Michigan! Then, running back Blake Corum leads #4 Michigan's dominant ground game in a tough road test against Iowa. The best pregame, the best announcers, the biggest games. Michigan, Iowa, all part of Big Noon Saturday on Fox.
You're watching Fox 22, Bangor.
After leaving a trail of destruction across Florida, millions more are preparing for Hurricane Ian's impacts as it moves north. Now a Category 1 storm. Fox's Madeline Rivera has the latest from Fort Myers, Florida.
Ian strengthening back into a hurricane, now taking aim at Georgia and the Carolinas.
Now is the time to prepare. Please do not wait.
The National Hurricane Center warning of life-threatening storm surge, flooding, and strong winds as Hurricane Ian moves north.
The storm surge is now estimated to possibly be between 4 and 7 feet.
Residents across Georgia and the Carolinas preparing for the worst after seeing the devastation Ian left behind in Florida.
Hopefully all of this won't be necessary, but you know what? It's better to be prepared than not prepared, you know.
Hurricane Ian making landfall in Florida on Wednesday, leveling entire communities and leaving millions without power. Fort Myers and Sanibel Island suffering some of the worst damage.
And it got hit with really biblical storm surge.
I'm getting important stuff, my paperwork, my husband's personal things. I lost him 2 months ago. And now I've lost my only home.
Meanwhile, rescue crews continue their work along the state's Gulf Coast, as well as in central Florida, where the storm dropped heavy rains, causing massive flooding. Officials say the next 72 hours will be critical when it comes to successful rescue missions.
And that 72-hour clock is that we search first, we secure, and then we stabilize.
President Biden approved a disaster declaration for Florida to free up federal resources and says he will visit the region in the near future. In Fort Myers, Florida, Malda Rivera, Fox News.
And in a related story, the Biden administration is ramping up its response to the damage left by Hurricane Ian. This comes as the storm takes aim at more states. Fox's Jackie Heinrich has more.
We know many families are hurting. Many are hurting today, and our entire country hurts with them.
President Biden promising Florida his administration's full support after Hurricane Ian slammed into the state's west coast on Wednesday as a powerful Category 4 storm. On Thursday, he met with FEMA officials to discuss the extent of the damage.
We've dispatched over 1,000 FEMA personnel and prepositioned major federal capacities and capabilities and supplies. That includes millions of liters of water, millions of meals, and hundreds of generators.
The president has now declared a major disaster in the hardest hit counties to free up federal aid for recovery efforts. He issued a similar declaration prior to Ian's landfall. The response receiving bipartisan praise so far.
Everybody's got to keep working together, and I'm hopeful. And I tell you what, if there's a problem, I will be very vocal.
But the administration faces a challenging task, with Florida officials bracing for months of rebuilding. Ian left behind catastrophic flooding along Florida's Gulf Coast and knocked out power to millions of customers. And now the storm is threatening to cause damage in Georgia and the Carolinas on Friday. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis says he spoke with the president about expanding his disaster declaration.
This was such a major weather event that it's producing 500-year floods. People that live close to that are likely to experience significant damage to their homes.
FEMA says additional counties could be eligible for assistance after further assessments. At the White House, Jackie Heinrich, Fox News.
Meanwhile, Vladimir Putin is expected to make an announcement saying his country is annexing occupied territory in Ukraine. This follows weekend referendums the West dismissed as a sham. Meanwhile, Russian troops are ramping up attacks on civilian areas in the east. Fox's Trey Yingst has the latest from Kyiv.
Smoke rises from the city of Kramatorsk in eastern Ukraine. 11 people were injured when Russian rockets slammed into a group of buildings this morning. As Ukrainians grapple with continued attacks on their country, Russian President Putin is scheduled to announce the formal annexation of occupied territory tomorrow from Moscow. Even Russia's closest allies, like Serbia and Kazakhstan, are refusing to recognize the referendum results. Still, officials in Kyiv are vowing to counter the annexation.
Ukraine cannot and will not tolerate any attempt by Russia to seize any part of our land.
Ukraine's European partners also pushing back against referendum voting, announcing new sanctions aimed at Russia's export market.
We do not accept the sham referendum and any kind of annexation in Ukraine.
Russia faces mounting internal and external pressure amid the conflict and is struggling to galvanize the population to support the invasion. With thousands of fighting-age men still fleeing the country each day, neighboring Finland plans to restrict Russian tourists from entering, even if they have a valid visa.
With this decision, the government states that the entry of Russian citizens for tourism purposes could endanger Finland's international relations.
The Finnish government also weighing in on the Nord Stream 1 and 2 pipeline leaks, saying an unspecified government actor is suspected to have sabotaged the lines. And Sweden today saying that another leak was discovered, bringing the total number to 4. There's a real understanding in Ukraine that Putin's annexation announcement tomorrow, coupled with the pipeline leaks, will change the course of this war. The world is bracing for what comes next. In Kyiv, Trey Yingst, Fox News.
Well, switching gears now, mortgage rates rise for the sixth consecutive week. Fox Business's Madison Allworth has more on what it means for home buyers.
Home prices are slightly down, but rising mortgage rates are sending monthly payments soaring. The average monthly payment for homeowners is now over $2,000 a month. That's a 43.7% increase in cost from just 1 year ago. Mortgage rates have hit 6.7%, according to Freddie Mac, the first time that they've surpassed 6% since late 2008. It is putting some downward pressure on home prices, but not at the same pace that we are seeing rates go up. To put that in context, if a buyer was to purchase a $400,000 home today, it would cost them around $760 more a month than it would have a year ago when the interest rate on a 30-year mortgage was just 3.1%.
This change has really raised the financial threshold for families to afford to buy their first home. This is moving homeownership a little further out of reach, maybe delaying it a few years for, those families in their 30s, these millennial households who have been trying to save up to buy that first home.
These 5 areas have seen the greatest increase in monthly payments, the cost going up around 60% from just a year ago. The good news for home buyers is that even though we are still in a housing deficit, inventory is not moving quite as quickly, and the days of waiving inspections seem to be behind us. In New York, I'm Madison Allworth, Fox Business.
The Food and Drug Administration is proposing new restrictions for using the healthy claim on food packaging. According to the FDA, roughly 5% of packaged food products are labeled as healthy. The agency regulates the claim and first defined it in 1994. Now the FDA wants to update the definition to match current nutrition science. In order to have the claim healthy on their packaging, the FDA says products would need to contain a certain amount of food from at least one of the recommended food groups. They would also have the cut certain nutrients that are bad for you, such as sodium and added sugars.
All right, well, still to come on Fox 22 News at 10, President Biden sets a new goal to end hunger by the end of this decade. We'll have details. And in sports, a longtime player on the Black Bears defense reached a career milestone. We'll hear from him on the achievement after this. Stay with us.
With the NL East title up for grabs, Lindor and the Mets battle Acuna Jr. and the Braves. It's Baseball Night in America, Saturday at 7 Eastern on Fox.
Tomorrow morning on Star 97.7, Paul Dupuis has the music and fun. Sonny Shepard brings you Star 97.7 local news. And Steve McKay with the weather. Turn on your radio and get the Star treatment with Star 97.7.
When it looks the part, but isn't the real thing, that's Fool's Golden. Jared Golden promised he'd be an independent fighter against Biden's spending, but then cast a deciding vote for Biden's newest spending bill that experts say will hike taxes $1 billion on those making under $50,000. Golden may think we're fools, but his recent vote shows Mainers what he's really made of. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
The signs of summer are here. The sun's out for the evening commute. Whistles and clapping echo from the ball field. And a day at the lake brings the family together. Valley Home Services offers whole home comfort, serving northern Maine to Portland. Choose from Daikin, Fujitsu, or Mitsubishi heat pumps, and you'll be ready for whatever summer brings. Humid days or cool nights, come home to comfort with Valley Home Services. Home is our middle name.
It's been a great summer at Dorsey Furniture, but it's time to start thinking about fall. Our new fall introductions are arriving daily and we need to make room. This means big discounts on selected items. How big? Half off. We didn't stop with just a few items. We have marked down every item in every department. Come to Dorsey Furniture during our fall clearance sale and you won't be disappointed. Dorsey Furniture, Route 1A, Holden.
Steve Harvey powers the X Team.
If roles were reversed, what might a turkey do to you on Thanksgiving?
Eat my drumstick. Loaded with X Team confidence.
Some men are shaped like what kind of nut?
Nutcracker.
And X Team powers.
Fill in the blank. Blank Daddy.
Hot dog.
You'll love the X Team.
Hot dog Daddy.
On Family Feud.
Weeknights at 7 on Fox 22.
Tomorrow morning on Star 97.7, Paul Dupuis has the music and fun. Sonny Shepard brings you Star 97.7 local news. And Steve McKay with the weather. Turn on your radio and get the Star treatment with Star 97.7.
Well, was just a few weeks ago that President Biden reintroduced his administration's goal to reduce the cancer death rate in the U.S. by half over the next 25 years. Now the president is adding on to his list of far-reaching goals, revealing his new plans to end hunger by the end of this decade. Fox's Ashley Strohmeyer has the story.
If you look at your child and you can't feed your child, what the hell else matters?
President Biden tugging at the nation's heartstrings after announcing his administration's goal to end hunger in the U.S. by 2030.
1 in 10 American households still do not have access to enough food. 1 in 10.
The bold initiative outlined during Wednesday's White House Conference on Hunger, Nutrition, and Health, the first since 1969, and comes as data reveals 10% of households nationwide faced difficulty getting enough food to eat last year alone.
I know what it's like to not know where your next meal will come from, both as a child and as a parent.
The Secretary of Agriculture outlining 5 main points the Biden administration believes are critical to meeting its goal, including increasing access to affordable food, finding ways to integrate nutritional science into healthcare policies, educating consumers about making healthier choices, creating more opportunities for people to be physically fit and have access to outdoor spaces, and increasing funding for nutritional research. The White House also hopes to tackle diet-related diseases like type 2 diabetes, obesity, and hypertension, and says its goals are reliant on the private and public sectors coming together, announcing a collective $8 billion in contributions so far from a number of companies and charities. But when it comes to implementing proposals for expanding food stamp coverage, the president said Congress must come together. Ashley Strohmeyer, Fox News.
Siri, Alexa, and Google Home could make your children rude and antisocial, according to researchers in the UK. Analysts say children's reliance on artificial intelligence can lead to long-term consequences in empathy, compassion, and critical thinking. They say these devices don't promote the social etiquette usual in conventional social interactions and do not teach children to say please and thank you when making requests. An Amazon spokesperson says Amazon Kids gives control to parents to help them manage the ways children interact with technology, and it encourages children to say please and thank you when speaking to Alexa.
Well, when we think back on kindergarten, most of us remember recess and nap time. Now, a new tech challenge is bringing 21st century skills to kids as young as 4. Fox's William Lajeunesse has more in this edition of Fox on Tech.
This is where all of our future brilliant thinkers are starting.
This may not be the kindergarten you remember. A new STEM-based learning program puts a heavy focus on technology by teaching younger kids how to build robots. The Ready, Set Robotics Challenge takes place at Primrose Schools, which operates more than 400 early education centers across the country. As part of their summer program, hundreds of children from kindergarten through 5th grade participate in a 2-week class, learning skills that are usually taught to much older students.
Young children love robotics, they're able to code, and so we designed a developmentally appropriate robotics competition just for early elementary.
The first week introduces the basics of building. Kids get to know how robots work on both a mechanical and programming level. Then the competition begins, with students working in teams to help the robot, nicknamed Dash, navigate mazes and special missions.
The children absolutely love this robot. It has really easy drag and drop coding, and that's the very beginning of robotics.
In addition to building key 21st century skills, the Robotics Challenge also focuses heavily on character development, teaching kids problem solving and collaboration while they have fun in class.
Can they use coding? But more importantly, can they use their character development skills, sharing and respect for others, developing friendships.
A similar program could be coming to a classroom near you. It's estimated at least 70% of American schools will have robotics classes by 2030. In Los Angeles, William Lajeunesse, Fox News.
Season 8 of Fox's The Masked Singer is really getting the competition going, with 3 eliminated contestants just revealed. Now we get to hear from a couple of the latest celebrities to leave the show. Here's Fox's Ashley Dvorkin.
A triple reveal on Fox's The Masked Singer took flight with NSYNC's Chris Kirkpatrick as Hummingbird.
My family and the guys in the band pretty much didn't even ask me. They just said, "Hey, great job," or whatever, because they know me. There's going to be a lot of people that once it's revealed that I can finally say, "All right, you're right."
Do you kind of go in with a little Masked Singer plan?
Yeah, my plan was to pick a song that was not in my normal register, or not what I normally sing, to kind of throw them a little bit.
Panther belted out his best, but Montel Jordan leaves this stage, glad to have had the experience.
First of all, I'm a huge Nick Cannon fan. That's my guy. I love him. I've watched the show, and I've watched for years people mistakenly think that was me.
He's excited the show let him show off another music style.
I'm working on a jazz album, and I creatively wanted to show that music does not define me. I define music.
Who in your life are you most excited to see their reaction once the big reveal happens?
Well, I didn't tell, my kids, you sign NDAs. Of course, my wife knew, but like my mom doesn't know. My grandma, doesn't know. My Nana, my dad. Like, I got tons of family, my brothers and sisters. And I'm sure my phone will be blowing up afterwards. Like, why didn't you tell me? God, you pirate.
Pyrat, a.k.a. Jeff Dunham, brought the comedy but was also eliminated.
Jeff Dunham!
From this very competitive Season 8 showdown, which continues Wednesdays on Fox. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
Well, here's a question. Did you get your coffee today? Because it was National Coffee Day. Coffee shops across the state honor the holiday in different ways. At Dunkin', Perk members could enjoy a medium hot or iced coffee with any purchase. Now, knowing that Mainers definitely do love their coffee, we went out and asked people about their favorite coffee choices.
Just regular old-fashioned coffee from Dunkin' Donuts.
My favorite coffee is from Columbia Mild Roast. Lots of cream.
Dunkin' Donuts cold brew all the way.
Right now we have Tim Hortons coffee.
Yep.
And our favorite coffee is Wawa coffee.
Wawa.
A mocha swirl iced coffee with 4 and 4 liquid sugar.
Iced coconut with caramel. Mocha iced coffee.
A lot of good options in
Iced
there.
coconut, man. That got me thinking a little bit there.
Maybe a little inspiration for your next coffee adventure there.
I don't need any more coffee inspiration than what I already have, but that sounds good. Lots of flavors.
Yeah.
Lots of choices.
Yeah, there really are there.
Alrighty.
Well, find out if you're going to want an iced or hot coffee in the next couple of days, because our full 5 days coming right up.
All right, clearing skies and light winds out there tonight. You know what that means. That means cool temperatures with some frost and freeze conditions this evening. More on that when I come back.
It's time to take care of you. Colonoscopies are the trusted test to detect and prevent colon cancer before it's too late. Physicians at the St. Joseph Digestive Health Center are here to help you live life to the fullest, starting with a screening colonoscopy. Put the facts before your fear. Call the St. Joseph Digestive Health Center at 907-3550 to schedule your colonoscopy today. It's time.
For the best selection in classic and contemporary furnishings, stop by Richard Parks Furniture on High Street in Ellsworth. Handcrafted New England-made bedrooms and dining rooms, imported Scandinavian recliners and upholstery, more than 40 lines of furniture for the home and patio. Richard Parks Furniture is your #1 stop for quality, functionality, and well-designed furniture at affordable prices. Richard Parks Furniture.
Discover Richard Parks.
132 High Street in Ellsworth.
Discover Richard.
We're a AAA family.
We found out about AAA insurance through a friend who had actually mentioned it a while ago. We ran the numbers and it totally worked.
We looked at the statement for our previous insurer and then AAA insurance. Definitely, we've seen a huge difference.
Switch to AAA insurance today, and you could save an average of $483 on auto insurance. Compare that to State Farm, Geico, even Allstate. Call now for your free AAA full picture quote to find out how much you could save.
By switching over to AAA insurance, we saved over $450. So with our savings, he bought more equipment.
More money means more practice equipment.
In his world.
Why didn't we do this earlier? Why did it take so long?
We're a AAA family now.
AAA insurance allows us to do so much more with our kids and spend more time with them.
To find out how much you could save by switching to AAA Insurance, call 877-209-5197 for your free AAA full picture quote today. You'll be glad you did.
Hush, little Homer, don't say a word. Moe's gonna make your vision blurred.
That's my big boy. Only 5 more to go.
The Simpsons, all new Sunday on Fox.
All right, temperatures are dropping out there now. That could mean some frost across the area tonight into early parts of tomorrow morning. Some dense fog out there as well. Already frost advisories are posted for tonight into tomorrow morning about 8 o'clock or so. And again, low temperatures tonight hanging out in the low to mid 30s. That's low enough for frost, as you know. So if you have some sensitive plants out there or plants you still love and want to keep around, bring them inside tonight or cover them up tonight too. That'll help them through tonight. Okay, today temperatures did this, right? 60 in Millinocket, 63 here in Bangor. A very nice day. It was cloudy and a bit windy. In fact, we had northwest wind gusts near 25 miles per hour. That is dying down this evening. So tonight, low temperatures in the 30s. Tomorrow, though, we're going to recover back up into the 60s again. We like that, especially here in late September, entering early October, of course, soon. Right now, the winds are out of the northwest still, but they're dying down. So earlier, again, we had wind gusts near 25, sustained near 15. That's not happening anymore. They're out of the northwest currently at 0 Millinocket, 6 in Bangor. So you get the idea. These are going to die down tonight. The lack of wind, the radiational cooling this time of year will give us a nice cool evening tonight. And also some dense fog. So if you're driving at 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, get your low beams on. That'll help you through that with the dense fog out there this evening. Okay, so lots of clouds earlier today kind of gave way to clear skies around sunset, and now looking pretty good out there, as you know. It's going to be a cool night, though, and then tomorrow we'll have some increasing clouds tomorrow evening, but likely staying dry tomorrow, as we have nothing but high pressure back off to the west of us for now, but that's going to change as there is some rain in our forecast heading into the weekend. Our forecasts are going forward, though, so Futurecast shows tonight, no issues at all. Tomorrow morning, 9:30 or so, the fog will already have lifted. Lots of clear skies tomorrow. Don't forget your sunglasses tomorrow. And then increasing clouds tomorrow night, but still no rain in the forecast tomorrow evening. Here we are about 10 o'clock or so. All the games tomorrow night, football games, no worries at all with game time temperatures in the 50s. And then here we go. So into Saturday, increasing clouds, and probably by Saturday evening, we'll get some rain showers started, mostly overnight Saturday and a Sunday morning, but still, if you have plans Saturday evening, likely a couple of showers across the area. Let's check on Ian. It's regaining strength again. Not a lot, just a little off the coast of Florida now again. Moving into South Carolina with winds near 75 miles per hour. It is still a Category 1 hurricane. Our forecast then for tonight, though, is lots of clear skies out there. Frost is likely in a few spots with low temperatures down near 36. For tomorrow, it's going to be a nice day. So lots of sunshine, although there could be a couple partly cloudy skies out there. Look for high temperatures near 65 with a southwest breeze around 5. And then looking ahead, your 5-day forecast shows the story. So 65 tomorrow, 66 Saturday, a gorgeous Saturday, right? But then some rain showers late Saturday into Sunday, turning partly cloudy on Sunday, but cooler with a high of 55 and lows back near 30 on Sunday evening, leveling off near 60 for highs Monday into Tuesday of next week.
So definitely a couple cooler days coming our way with highs just in the 50s.
Absolutely, yeah. We're seeing that. We're seeing the gradual cool down.
Take down, yeah, for sure.
Continue, yep.
All right. Well, sports is coming up next with Tyler Cruz. Stay with us.
Offensive and divisive. That's Paul LePage's legacy. But it's not just what he said as governor. It's what he did. LePage slashed funding for cancer screenings for women. He refused to invest in clean energy, kicked over 1,000 seniors off their prescription drug program, and even opposed funding to Meals on Wheels. So, if that's what Paul LePage did last time he was governor, we can't send him back. The top funder of the Better Maine is the Democratic Governors Association.
Who can you call when you need immediate help, any time of day or night? Always giving you and your family peace of mind.
AAA's legendary Roadside Assistance is a network with over 50,000 vehicles that respond to more than 32 million assistance calls every year.
If something happens and we're broken down, my family's not going to be stranded.
There are so many benefits to membership, and AAA is there if you're locked out of your car, need a tow, run out of gas, have a flat tire, or a dead battery.
You know, if you have one flat tire or one battery service, that membership fee pays for itself.
Wherever you go, wherever you are, you can trust AAA to be there when you need them.
Join today and a full year of AAA membership is just $53. We'll waive the membership admission fee, and as a special bonus, you'll receive a 1-year membership for an eligible family member. Don't wait another second. Call to join AAA right now.
Don't believe the lies from Washington's special interests.
Jared Golden's a different type of Democrat. I respect that Jared served in the Marines.
Jared's a friend of law enforcement, and we definitely can trust them to keep our communities and families safe.
Jared is standing strongly against defunding the police.
This endorsement was not a given. Congressman Golden's earned it.
Mr. Golden will definitely fight for us and be in our corner and have our backs, absolutely.
I'm Jared Golden, and I'm honored to approve this message.
Tonight's Sports is brought to you by Engstrom's Auto Service in Guilford. We specialize in all foreign and domestic service and alignments.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. For the past years, Adrian Otero has been a constant on the Black Bears defense, and the last time he took the field, he reached a career milestone.
The Black Bears are ready to get back on the field after a much-needed bye week.
We had a productive week, and we're able to get healthy. We're able to get some good work in on the field and in the weight room, and we're really able to take a step forward and build off that BC game.
The last time we saw Maine, they showed a ton of fight down in Boston College, being within striking distance all game against the Eagles.
Us personally, we don't really care if it's like FCS or FBS. We just want to go out and compete. So, we had 2 FBS opponents that were pretty good, but I still feel like we could have dominated those guys.
On the defensive end, they racked up 3 sacks, and 2 players had double-digit tackles. One of them, senior Adrian Otero, whose 10 tackles in the contest put him over 200 for his career.
I didn't know it. I mean, I saw it on Twitter. I know my girl was telling me and everything. So, yeah, it was exciting. It felt good. Seeing it up there, good accomplishment. I mean, I never really thought of it. It flew by so fast. I just was been playing football with my guys. Just loving the game and everything. And it's come the game that 200 tackles, I guess.
As the captain of the defense, he's had the chance to work with a former captain of the Maine defense for the past few months, and had nothing but positives to say about the experience.
It's been really good, since the first day he came, we already knew what his philosophy was, and yeah, he came in here ready to go, ready to work, and yeah, we follow his process, and right now we've just been working.
Adrian's been great. I mean, he's lead by example guy, and he's Coach Kite's done a great job with him, getting him prepared, getting him ready to play, and he's a guy that has those tackles because he's in the right place at the right time, and gets himself there because he studies and he prepares.
And Otero's teammates also share Stephen's praise for their captain, saying simply, he's their guy.
He's our guy, for real. So, he's our team captain. He's our captain on defense. So, all the guys just look up to him and try to see what he does and how he go about his day so we all could just, be better.
Looking forward to see what they do on Saturday in the CAA opener against Villanova. Let's stay on the UMaine subject now. 2 former Black Bears and former Maine Mariners are moving up in the ranks, but they're heading south. Edwards Trailmax and J.D. Greenway, both Maine hockey grads who spent some time down in Portland with the Mariners, will be joining the Providence Bruins in the AHL ranks. So, one step closer to joining Jeremy Swayman in Boston. Both of those guys also spent some time with Providence last season, but Greenway was there for the Mariners' playoff push at the end of the year. And it should be fun watching them compete with the black and gold down there, and then hopefully with the black and gold up at the Garden one day. All right, starting this fall, we're going to stay with hockey. The first girls varsity hockey team north of Winslow will take the ice at the Penobscot Ice Arena, going by the Penobscot Pioneers, and just recently, they named the program's first head coach. Michael Keem was selected to lead the Pioneers this season. The team includes girls from Bangor, Brewer, Hamden Academy, Herman, John Baptist, Orono, and Old Town. Keem coaches the Maine Junior Black Bears Tier 4 team, and he's the varsity lacrosse coach with Bangor High School. He's also served as an assistant coach with the John Baptist boys hockey team. For his first steps, will be building his coaching staff and meeting the players before they take the ice for their first official practice in November. Some historic stuff going on right there. Looking forward to that season. Let's stay on the high school sports scene now. A lot of action on Thursday and a gorgeous day for it. Let's go to some soccer game. Bangor Christian playing host to Greenville in some girls soccer action. This one scoreless at the half, but Jaden Boone wants to change that. She gets the nice pass from Stella Goetz and puts it in the back of the net. That breaks the scoring open. It's 1-0 Greenville. Here's Bangor Christian now with a good chance. Grace Lewis with the ball. She's looking for Lindsay Durst, who fires a nice shot, but a nice stop defensively by Elena McMahon. Patriots on offense again. A nice chance here for Libby Payne, but they would keep them at bay with a nice save from Lexi Bajork, and then Greenville, the offense, would get going again. This time, it is McMahon off the throw-in from way downtown. That one sneaks over the head of the goalie. Greenville wins this one. 2-0 is the final. Moving up 95 North, George Stevens taking on the Red Riots from Orono. First half, GSA is up 1. Some good defense here from Machine Wise to steal the ball. He is going to get it back on a very nice lead pass, makes a move on the defender, but Levko Fedorak is there for the stop. Right place at the right time. On the other end, Cyrus Blake with the ball. He gets the shot off with the left, and he gets it to go. That's going to make it a 2-0 lead for George Stevens. For Orono, a very good chance again. Lead pass for Wise from Dom Ondo, but Fedorak is there to avoid the goal, but not to avoid the collision. They are all good, though. Wise helps him up. You love to see the sportsmanship on the field right there. Here's GSA with another chance before the half, but Colin Loringer is there for the save. Both teams would tack on a second-half goal, and GSA goes on to win this one 3-1. All right, some great soccer action right there. We will have all the football for you on Friday night. We will get to that on Friday. Right now, that is all the time we have for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
Fall in love with a stylish and quality dining room set this fall, like my Montana Dining Collection. Get the table with 6 chairs, only $9.99. Or table, 4 chairs, and storage bench, still only $9.99. With financing options to fit your budget.
Get Bob's discount!
You can always tell where Bruce Poliquin's been. Hanging around Washington politicians and the special interests that fund their campaigns, like big oil and drug and insurance companies. Poliquin leaves a bit of Washington everywhere because he's covered in it, supporting special tax breaks for big corporations and more government spending. No matter where you see Bruce Poliquin, you know he's always heading back to the swamp. House Majority PAC is responsible for the content of this ad.
Now is the best time to get a great deal on a vehicle at #1 Van Sickle Kia. We have a great selection of quality pre-owned vehicles with payments and prices for every budget. Plus, we'll pay you top dollar for your late model vehicle, even if you don't buy from us. There's never been a better time to buy, sell, or trade at Van Sickle Kia.
The best cars, the best prices, and the best warranty. I'm Peter Van Sickle. I guarantee it.
Hey, it's Eric from Green Bear 420. We've been in business since 2010 and going strong, so stop in and check us out. We specialize in glass art by over 100 local artists and even have live glass blowing. Plus, we carry incense, novelties, t-shirts, and hard-to-find items. We have tons of local products for the tie-dye wearing person in your circle of friends. Come see us at 531 Moosehead Trail in Newport. And remember, Green Bear 420, it's not just a store, it's a lifestyle.
Pound the pavement for Cancer Awareness Sunday, October 9th at the Sea Dog on the Bangor waterfront. Register at runsignup.com. Goodie bags given to the first 200 people to register. Visa gift cards are randomly hidden in goodie bags. You could win $25 or even $100. Fundraise $150 and get a limited edition t-shirt. All proceeds stay in our community. Pound the Pavement, sponsored by the Sea Dog, Ice Pick Vodka, ABC7 and Fox 22, and the Purple Iris Foundation. Register now at runsignup.com.
Mirror, mirror on my 5-piece Tremont bedroom set. Only $9.99. Dresser and mirror, chest, queen bed, even a nightstand. At Bob's Discount Furniture, you get the quality and value you deserve, even if you like talking to yourself in the mirror.
Get Bob's discount!
Hey, I'm Jerry O'Connell. Join me this fall right here on Fox 22 at 10 a.m. for Pictionary.
Well, a Grammy Award-winning artist plays a piece of history. Another big name is added to Beverly Hills Cop 4 and more. Here's Fox's Ashley Dvorkin with the latest from the Hollywood Nation.
Hi. Hi.
Reynolds and Jackman tease vampires sink their teeth into another season, and Lizzo makes history cool in the Hollywood nation. Lizzo is feeling good as hell after playing a piece of history during her Washington, D.C. concert Tuesday night. The Library of Congress invited the singer to check out their large flute collection and granted her permission to play former President James Madison's 200-year-old crystal flute at her show.
So, how long have you been dead?
Anne Rice's interview with the vampire is going for seconds. AMC Networks has already greenlit the series for a season 2 ahead of its debut on October 2nd. The show is based on the hit horror novel and subsequent Brad Pitt-Tom Cruise movie of the same name. Eddie Murphy adds more star power to Beverly Hills Cop Axel Foley. According to Deadline, Kevin Bacon has joined the cast of the 4th film in the franchise, featuring Murphy reprising his lead role as Detective Foley.
I had a lot of questions. I'm sure you had a lot of questions.
And Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman answer questions following the announcement Jackman is back as Wolverine for Deadpool 3. In a video on their socials, the duo explain what's going to happen given the fate of Jackman's character in Logan, but said explanation is interrupted to the tune of Wake Me Up Before You Go Go. It seems we'll need to wait a little longer to find out what's in store for the film in theaters September 6th, 2024. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
Well, fans of the Halloween classic Hocus Pocus can now run amok in the Sanderson sisters' cottage. Spend a bewitching night in one of the most frightening houses on Airbnb. Just in time for the release of Hocus Pocus 2, the company is creating a replica of the cottage, which has been frozen in time for 300 years. If they dare, guests can book a stay at the spooky property in the remote woods of Salem, Massachusetts. The spellbinding one-night stay will be hosted by the 3 Sanderson sisters on October 20th for 2 guests at only $31. Those looking to get in on the Halloween spirit will be able to create their own calming circle, try their hand at the ancient spellbook, and screen the long-awaited follow-up Hocus Pocus 2, which begins streaming on September 30th.
And if you're one who likes to dress your pet up for Halloween, certain costumes are predicted to be the most popular. With just over a month before Halloween, many pet lovers are browsing for costumes for their furry friends, and Walmart has the Vibrant Life line available in-store and online for your pet. To join in on your door-to-door trick-or-treating, this year's picks and costumes are predicted to be Bumblebee, Cow, and Ladybug. Walmart also has lots of pet snacks and candy-themed toys for under $10.
I really like the hot dog one.
Yeah.
That's a really cute one.
Seems like a bit of a layup, but it always looks so adorable.
Yeah, it really
on
is.
whatever dog is wearing it. It's like it never fails.
Yep.
I really like the Bumblebee one. I like to see my girl in the Bumblebee.
I was going to say, do you have any plans for yours?
I was actually thinking about a Bumblebee long before, just because of the color she is, and she has such a bubbly personality that I just feel like it fits her.
She totally does. That's great. All right. Well, that's all we have for tonight. Thanks so much for tuning in. Have a great rest of your night.
Good night, everybody.
For more